So here we go. We're going for a walk to the beach, and we're going to go and meet a few of my friends. They don't say a lot, and they don't have to say a lot, but I'm with them all the time. This is home. And here we have one of my most precious and beautiful friends. This is Acacia maideni. It has probably one of the highest ratios of DMT out of all the acacias in Australia. They usually grow a little bit bigger than this, but this one's sort of struggling a little bit. It's really not where it's supposed to be, but in saying that, I think it really accentuates the properties of its DMT. It's taken me to quite a few beautiful and special places. I can only imagine the world's inside this beautiful being. We just get a glimpse of it, you know, and that glimpse is just so indescribable with beauty and with its majesty. I get quite overwhelmed by just looking at this tree and knowing the intelligence that it contains, and it's a multiversal intelligence, because every journey is different, but it retains certain characters in their different realms, in their multiversal realms, if you would. I often sit under this tree here and just reflect. I think we lock minds with our natural DMT at times. It takes me to quite a few other special places. Anyway, so much love to you, my beautiful friend. We'll move on. This is another friend of mine. Isn't she just gorgeous? I mean, look at the colour that reflects through those leaves. And look at the bark. I mean, it's just amazingly beautiful. It's very quiet today. Usually this tree houses a lot of lorikeets, probably earlier in the year when they're flowering, and then later on the white and the black cockatoos will come in here and they'll eat the pods and the seeds. But most of all, that raucous is over for the year, as well as the cicadas. It's very quiet. It's beautiful. Here we have a wonderfully tortured tea tree. And the Banksias. To the beach. Maybe you can hear the surf in the background over there. It's a beautiful symphony. When it's windy here and the surf is loud and the wind's coming through the trees, it's just, yeah, amazing. I love this grove. It's usually full of finches and wrens, but it's just so eerily quiet today. And you can hear the last of the cicadas. In summertime here in the same spot, your ears would literally bleed. The noise was just, it was just overpowering. This track in the summertime, if you don't wear thongs on this track, and especially the one up, it will literally burn the skin off your feet. These here are acacia arbustifolia, and when they get bigger they sort of get black, and their common name can be the black wattle, but they do have a fairly high concentrated DMT, and with all acacias they're all different, but I mean the intelligence of these beings here is as I said, indescribable. And this is my local beach. I've got a few little waves over here today. The wind's a bit onshore, so you probably won't see anybody surfing. And down here is what they call the island, Windang Island, which is part of the Kuri legend. It's an upturned canoe with a battle with a whale. It's a whole different story, but it's a wonderful story in itself. And Windang is actually known to the Kuris as the place of fighting. They would come here and they would settle family feuds, and jilted lovers would have their day with each other. Not necessarily really hurt each other, but you know, what can love say? Anyway, this is Windang Beach, and yeah, as you can see, it's easy to be alone here. This is my little friend that accompanies me on my journeys to the beach. Coco, say hello. Say hello, baby. Oh, sorry, my name's Coco, so leave me alone. swell's not very big today. It's pretty small actually. We get some really big waves around here, especially those islands over there. They're called the Five Islands, and there's a Kuri legend in them as well, but they just take me too long. Well, in here we have some nasty blue bottles today. A surfer's worst enemy, believe me. That horizon used to be filled with belching smokestacks up until about 4 years ago. But in the last 15 years, I'd say probably maybe 6 stacks used to be able to be visible from here, and just belching continuously. Dirty old town back then. We're taking a different track back to home. All this area here is pretty much been reclaimed. It used to be an actual coal dump, believe it or not, where they used to dump all the excess coal wash from the steelworks. And 40 years ago, this used to be just mounds of black coal. But you can never stop nature in its tracks, can you? We're coming up to a grove of longifolia, another acacia, which has a bulbous yellow flower, and usually the bulbs denote a slightly different compound or compounds within the extraction.